And just like that, back on trail. Damascus is beautiful, nice little town. It was nice. I mean, I really didn't do anything other than just walk through it and kind of walk along the creeper trail. Rain showers keep coming through, getting drizzled on right now. But I'm gonna start this climb and see where we get for the day. Well, Virginia's already pretty beautiful, guys, not gonna lie. Well, stop for a little bit of a snack here, about 7 miles, 8 miles out from Damascus right now. Having some homemade little mini blueberry muffins and a little bit of Miller Lite. Through hiking snack of champions as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, Charlie. Still trying to figure out what I'm doing for the day. Saunders Shelter is about 2 miles from here. That'll put me getting 10 miles outside of Damascus. I'm gonna be there by 5:30 or so. I don't know if I can bring myself to stop that early in the day. So I might push on a little bit further and hit up a tent site or something like that. But anyway, you're gonna sit here for a little bit. New shoes are feeling great. Weather's been good, real windy right now. So if I am hitting a tent site, I'm definitely going to avoid any tent sites that have a lot of dead trees. Not sure if this is just the back end of that rain system that moved through this morning, or if we're gonna have some bigger weather systems coming through later in the week. I'll just keep an eye on it, and guess we'll see. So at camp for the night, just currently wrapping up dinner. I have 2 honey buns that I still need to polish off, and then I have this muffin that was trail magic today from someone at a trailhead. Not sure exactly what this is. I'm looking at it, trying to figure out. My taste buds are deceiving me a little bit. It tastes like a carrot cake or a pumpkin spice muffin of some sort, but it has chocolate chips in it. So maybe that's where I'm getting some mixed signals. But anyway, it's been a beautiful day. Right here is the bridge for the Virginia Creeper Trail. The AT and the Virginia Creeper Trail actually become one for a little while. So hiked along it, and then just up there, the Virginia Creeper Trail kind of continues on, and the AT splits off and goes back the other way. And then there's some tent sites just off the side of the AT. I don't know if you can see my shelter back over that way, and I'm just having some dinner right here. So it was a good day overall. Did 16.6 miles. So it's 2 into Damascus, and then the other 14 and some change came on the way out. So overall, great day. Looking forward to a good night's sleep. Found a good, nice, flat, soft spot. Gonna get up tomorrow and push and see what I can do. I'm feeling like getting up early. I think that tomorrow is gonna actually be a pretty day. No early morning rain. So hoping I'll be able to hit the trail a little bit early, do a 20-something mile day, and see where that puts me. Morning, guys. Hitting the trail. It's about 8 o'clock this morning. It's super nice to listen to this creek all night long. But up and at it, it's a little chilly right now. Kind of down this little valley, looking at the sunrise up on the ridge that I'm going to be climbing over here in just a few. So I'll be getting warmed up in a hurry, I'm sure. And looking forward to seeing what the day holds. Hello there. Hello. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. You guys are cute. Got a couple little ones up there, huh? So those are the first deer of Virginia. I've seen one other deer since I've been on trail. That was a few days ago when I was coming around Watauga Lake. Right as I was getting in my tent, heard something moving around and put my headlamp on low, and sure enough there was a deer that had either found where I'd gone pee or where I'd spit out my toothpaste, but it was pretty curious. It hung around for a good maybe 10, 15 minutes, and pretty sure I fell asleep to the sound of it, just kind of walking off, leaving the camp area. That was kind of cool. Hey little guys, you curious? Hey, little calves. Cuties. You guys gonna follow me? Is that what you're doing? I don't have any food for you. I'm sorry. Well guys, we made it to another beautiful grassy bald with a nice panoramic view. If I had to pick my favorite trail environment to hike in, it's going to be either green pastures or nice grassy balds. So I guess you could say that today's what dreams me. Alright guys, so here's the deal. You get yourself a wrap. You put some hickory smoked tuna on it, and you put you a few slices of some good sharp cheddar cheese. Woo-wee! Well, headed on back up that way is the Blue Blaze for if I wanted to go to Mount Rogers Summit there, but it's a half-mile Blue Blaze, and from the notes I've read, pretty densely forested with not much of a view. So instead, I'm just going to continue on. I do see a couple of horses or ponies off in the distance. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. I'm gonna keep checking out these beautiful grassy balds. Well, made it to Thomas Knob Shelter here. You can see a bunch of hoof marks down there, and it certainly smells like ponies around here, but I certainly don't see any, so keep on trekking and see what I come across. Well, hello there. Looks like I found one of you over here. Pretty cute. I'll leave you be. You look like you're happy where you're at. Well guys, let's take a look here. 500 mile mark. So what this means in actuality, with me having skipped NOC through the Smokies, 104 mile section, puts me at 396 miles. Not too bad. I'll be hitting 400 a little bit later on today. I'm gonna check and see what's about 4 miles from here and double check back on that. But yeah, 500, good feeling. Just checked, Wise Shelter is about 4.1 miles from right here. So whenever I get to Wise Shelter, that's my 400 mile mark. Shoo-wee. Another beautiful bald-ish. There's not completely bald. You get the gist though. By the way, might as well take this opportunity to let you guys know that I do have a trail name at this point, given to me a few weeks ago. Forgot to mention it to you. But trail name is Biggin, Biggin. Nice endearing southern term for a big ol' fella, given to me by a fellow big old fella from Mississippi. Well, hello there. Hey, cute little thing. Well, what's up, you? Hey there. Hey. Well, guys, my dream of getting nibbled on by a Highlands pony is officially happening. You are just the cutest little thing, and I know that I am sweaty, no doubt about it. You're precious. I'm just a moving salt lick for you. You're gonna chase me around, huh? Yeah. Here, I'll put my trekking pole down. I'll give you a couple of pets. Hey. Oh, you. Yes. My legs are sweaty too, but they're hairy, so that tickles. All right, you take it easy now. Looks like my friend is still in tow, going for my calves. Oh, you got a friend? Yeah. All right, you two take it easy. Hope to have you a great little day. I'm out of here. Okay, you want one more lick? There you go. Okay, take care, guys. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. My Atlanta could not have picked a more incredible day to hit the Grayson Highlands. No doubt about it. Well, everybody, that's Wise Shelter right there at mile 504.2. I have 104.1 to make up. So I'm officially at 400.1 miles. I'm about to find a nice spot to sit down right here. I think this is worthy of a honey bun. Oh, maybe some Sour Patch Kids too. Protein first, then honey bun. Well, guys, made it to what is known as the Scales. So this is pretty much just a giant corral is what it is. Bunch of different fire pits and stuff. Looks like an absolutely beautiful place. Nice little view off to the north there. Just a little too exposed for my liking, knowing that storms are coming in overnight. I'd rather not be out in the open, at least not to this extent. So I'm gonna push on a little bit. See, there's actually a campsite that's about half a mile out from here, so I'll probably push to that campsite as opposed to I'd have to push another 3 miles to get to a shelter where I could camp. So I'll just get off into the woods here and get set up and rest my legs a little bit. So real happy with tonight's camp setup. Nice little spot down here. Sun setting back up there on the other side of that ridge that's going to be blocking any wind that's coming in from the west or coming up from the south. Have a nice little idyllic stream down here. Easy filtering of water for in the morning, and got a couple of good spots that I'm already looking at up across the way. Trails up that way. There's some spots up there on the hill where I'm going to be able to go and hang my food. So I'm looking forward to settling in. This is the earliest I've been to camp probably in a week. I mean, it's maybe like 6:30. It's been about 7:30 when I've been getting to camp, so I have a little bit of time on my hands. I'm going to take my time and eat a lot of food. Did almost 23 miles today. It was 22.7, and I'm hungry as hell. I'm worn out. My legs are actually giving me, I don't want to say they're giving me a hard time, but I'm bouncing on them right now, and they're a little tender, so make sure to stretch. Might find a nice flat rock and roll my feet out. Might find a nice tree and roll some spots out in my back and my hips if I need to, but looking forward to a pleasant evening. And I have signal at camp for the first time in either 2 or 3 days, so living the life. So for the next specialty concoction for the day, you start off with a peanut butter wrap. And then from there, you add some tuna. Now, I would recommend just normal OG tuna. You can get by with the sweet and spicy. You can probably get by with the Thai chili and or the Korean barbecue. But other than that, I don't think anything else is going to jive too well with peanut butter. Complements it nicely. Oh, and this peanut butter is honey peanut butter, by the way. So kind of a sweet earthiness. Good morning, everybody. Back on trail. Hit the trail around 7:30 or so. I was woken up to some bird song around 6:30, which to me indicated that there's a little bit of a break in the rain, which rolled in around probably 2:30, 3 o'clock last night. Sure enough, I opened my tent and it wasn't raining around 6:30. It was just water droplets kind of coming down out of the boughs of a lot of those pine trees that were around. So I hopped on up and grabbed my food bag, got ready, and now I'm on trail. So it's kind of drizzly coming down. I wouldn't really call it rainy. And this is why I did not want to camp up on a grassy ball with a storm like this rolling in. Something's been on my mind since yesterday. After lunch, when I was headed on up towards the Grayson Highlands, I passed a group of 3 badass women. I mean, 3 ladies in their 60s and 70s. Oldest one of them, who was fascinated, she was asking me a lot about my Hyperlight pack. She actually has one herself. She thru hiked when she was 50 years old in 1992. So now she's a 78-year-old woman that's coming down this rocky trail with her trekking poles, tink, 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 tink. I mean, burning it up. It's awesome to see people staying so youthful and spending their time outdoors. And I don't know, I guess just enjoying the natural world and enjoying what our natural bodies can do in the natural world. So just ended up having a little bit of lunch here, and at the junction point to where there's actually a section of the AT that's closed right here. It's a 2-mile section that's shut down due to a bridge whose structural integrity is in question that runs across a creek. So they're planning on removing it and replacing it at some point, but for now I'm going to have a little bit of a blue blaze headed on down that way. Looks like I am going to go on down into Dickey Gap, run across to Hurricane Campground, turn right from there and head on up to, I guess, Virginia 650 gravel road, take the gravel road back up to rejoin onto the AT. So 2.5 miles overall is what it's looking like. Let's see, 1.5, 0.7, so 2.2. And this section of the trail would have been 2 miles, so 0.2 further for, quite frankly, probably a much safer and easier route. Fine by me. Well, yeehaw! Back into the woods. Raccoon Branch Wilderness. Well, that's a name I can get down with. Funny story. When I lived in Orlando, I can't remember my exact count. You can probably go back in and look at my phone. I think I kept a tally. Pretty sure I rescued 15 or 16 raccoons when I was living in Orlando. Apartment I was staying at, every time they would come and get the trash, the dumpsters would be empty. Well, that night, the raccoons, knowing that You know, before they're hopping into a full dumpster and they can hop on out and go about their night after they've had a good midnight snack. Well, now that the dumpster's empty, raccoons can't get out in the morning. So after trash day, I wouldn't go around and check every single dumpster, but I was having a lot of deliveries to my apartment at the time, so I had a lot of extra cardboard boxes, and I'd go and check the dumpsters after trash day. Sure enough, there'd be 1, 3, maybe 4 raccoons in the bottom of the dumpster. So I'd go and get a couple of boxes, make a couple little stair steps, and let them come on out, because they would absolutely just be baked alive in the 100-some degree heat of those Florida summers. So it's not much, but it's honest work. Hey, check out this cool little guy. Well, made it to a tent spot a little early. Got my tent set up and got everything else kind of drying out. My tent got wet this morning when I was packing it up, so I just kind of have the little vestibule opened up on it, hopefully getting a little bit of airflow in there to dry out the bug netting. But anyway, I have an awesome little stream right here. Looking forward to being able to listen to that all night. I'm about to sit down and chow down on some food, take some ibuprofen, stretch out, go to sleep early. 20 miles today, 20.1. That gives me 18 miles tomorrow to get into Atkins. I initially planned for 5 days to get from Damascus to Atkins, and with my pace, it looks like it's turning out to be 4 days. So I might be paying the price for that, though. I might need a double zero. I'm not sure yet. My left quad's it was really tender. It was tender yesterday, right at the end of the day, like half a mile before getting to camp. I developed a little bit of a hiker hobble, and little iffy this morning. I worked it out, and I was good for the majority of the day. But the last couple miles today were fairly uncomfortable. So we'll see what some R&R tonight's going to bring, and then we'll see what the weekend brings. But hoping to stay healthy and well. So as I'm preparing another tuna wrap delicacy here, had a realization. Today was my first day on the AT seeing nobody. Kind of a nice quiet day. Good morning, guys. So I'd like you to meet a very dear friend of mine. Time for some breakfast. Well, looks like I just walked up on this guy. Hello. I don't want to come too near you. You're welcome to walk on anytime you'd like. There you go. Oh, I got a couple of them. Nice little rainy, misty morning here. Not raining right now. It rained all night. Literally from the moment that I crawled in my tent, I heard the first little pitter patter of raindrops hitting my tarp, and then probably let up around, I'm gonna guess around 6 this morning, and I got up around 6:30. But so soothing to just listen to the sound of the rain, the sound of that little stream running by last night. Super soothing. Actually got some water in my tent for the first time since being on trail. Now that's a testament to Hyperlight and a sign of a little bit of a boo-boo on my end. So I was sleeping last night, kind of got twisted around just a little bit. My sleeping pad bumped my pack out just a few inches, pushed the bathtub sides of my shelter out underneath the tarp aspect. So now the water that's running down off the tarp is running straight down in through the bug netting into my tent. Fortunately, sitting right there on top of my backpack was the pile of clothes that I had aired out right before getting into my tent. So all that water that came in just got absorbed into those clothes. So there's a Joey at 2 o'clock in the morning wringing all of his clothes out in his vestibule, but at least I didn't have standing water in my tent. Warming up a good bit on this climb here. Figured right now would be just as good a time as any to go ahead and put on a soaking wet, nice cold t-shirt. The one that I wrung the water out of in the middle of the night last night. Much better than a long sleeve. Now that was a rainstorm that I've been due for. Sitting there up on a ridge, having a nice lunch, my own business. Actually polishing everything off with some donut sticks. And wham! I get slammed with a wall of water. I'd looked over earlier when I was eating and saw that there was a storm over on like the opposite ridge, but I thought it was just moving up, and sure enough, with me not paying attention, it's headed over. But anyway, one of those that within the first 10-15 seconds, I hop up, reach for my pack, do a no-look grab behind the back of my sit pad that's flying away, and then you're just completely soaked. Puddles of water in your shoes. I'm just tromping along. Well, here's my first actual view in the last few days. I guess view of Walker Mountain. You see some rain down that way right there. So finishing up this last little stretch into Atkins here. Been listening to the highway for the last mile or so. Looking forward to getting on in. I think I'm staying at the Relax Inn tonight. And see about getting a room, getting some laundry taken care of, taking a nice hot shower, getting off my feet, finding some good food. What's up, guys? So got to the Relax Inn last night. Mother Dearest knew that I was actually going to be getting into Atkins yesterday evening, so she surprised me. She showed up and had a bunch of food in tow. She made a shepherd's pie for me, macaroni and cheese. She brought me a loaf of bread with a bunch of butter, orange juice, milk, key lime pie, more stuff than I knew what to do with. So it was awesome last night to see my mom for the first time since hitting the trail. Got some good food as well. Right now, just in my room here at the Relax Inn, all my stuff spread out everywhere. I'm just completely making myself at home. It's been a nice rainy day to just hang out today. Took a good nap. Got laundry done last night, taken a couple of good showers since I've been here. About to order some pizza and just hang out for the rest of the evening. Take it easy. I might hit the trail tomorrow. I might take another zero. I'm not really sure. Calling for rain in the forecast. I'm sure my leg could benefit from having an extra day to just kind of take it easy. So I might take a second zero just to kind of lounge around a little bit and see. Have another 5-day push that I'm planning, 4 or 5 day push to get to Pearisburg. And then from there, not sure what's happening after that. Pearisburg might be the last stop. After Pearisburg, there's currently a 27-mile closure around the McAfee Knob area. And then after that, I'd have another 5 days or so to hike until I got to the Shenandoahs, which are closed. And then after the Shenandoahs, there's not much of Virginia left until I get to West Virginia, Maryland, and all the other northern states that, quite frankly, trails are closed right now, or you can't camp overnight. So that's kind of what these 2 days are. Today and tomorrow are going to be figuring out the game plan for what's ahead. That's what kind of this entire trip has been. You've heard me say it many times when I take these zeros is, well, I'm going to figure out what next steps are. And that's just the nature of trying to hike the AT during a pandemic year, I suppose. I guess this would be the wings. mean that this is the pizza. You guys can't see it. That is pepperoni, pineapple, and green pepper. Whew. Well, guys, just straight relaxing for the day. Just had a honey bun. It's probably about lunchtime. I slept in until every bit of 9:30 or so. I'm watching The Departed right now. Probably going to throw all my food together here in just a bit. Just got my little stack of bags there on the floor. I'm gonna break all that stuff down and get ready to load up for my next 4 or 5 day push to Pearisburg, and kind of enjoying my last little stay here for I guess what I, at least for the time being, see is probably my last week on trail for a little bit. So just gonna enjoy reveling in this moment.
We're committed to helping you put food on your.
So I hit up Pizza Plus again, and I figured I'd go ahead and showcase this beautiful comforter here. Of course, I had to get my wings. Decided to go thin crust this time, pepperoni and mushroom. Then I also decided to go with the salad, getting in a little bit of roughage. Well, guys, leaving room 107 behind, hitting the trail for the day. Well, hitting the road. Got a little bit of road walking, heading on back up that way. Got to walk on up past the gas station and a restaurant, cross over the highway, and then dip on back into the woods. But it's a beautiful day. It's probably in the upper 40s, low 50s right now. Still some dark clouds rolling on through from that weather system that rolled through in the last couple of days. It was nice having 2 zeros where it just rained nonstop for 2 days. I didn't feel bad about being in a room. But yeah, looking forward to getting back out there for a last little push. Well, guys, I hate to do it, but I'm having to make a little bit of an executive decision here. So just stop for lunch right now, about 8 miles in from Atkins. I thought my leg was going to be okay. After a couple of days of rest, I was hoping it was going to be okay, but 5 miles in today, she started getting a little tender again, and I think it's some sort of a strain. Sometimes it feels almost like a muscle spasm, and you rub it out and it's kind of okay for a little bit, and then it kind of feels like it's cramping, and other times it feels almost more of like a shin splints, kind of like micro tear type issue. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but this sucker's probably going to need some rest. I actually have someone that's coming to pick me up here just at the road crossing by Quarterway Inn, so I got 2 more miles to go. I'm going to take my time, have some lunch here, and just enjoy the sunshine. It's going to take them about 3.5 hours to get on up this way, so grateful for that. But with this going on, and with me knowing that I'm hopping off trail at the end of the week anyway, I'd rather go ahead and get on home, let this thing rest up a little bit. In the event that I can hop back on trail in the next few weeks or the next month, I'd rather this be healed in 100% so that I can hit the trail and hike the way that I need to hike. There's no sense in me pushing on through for 100 some more miles this week, just for the sake of getting to Paris. I'll figure out whenever I'm getting back on trail if I'm going to start back in Atkins and redo this little 10-mile section that I'm doing today, or if I'll start back near Quarterway Inn. I guess I'll just kind of see in that regard. But ideally, hopefully at some point in the next few weeks, the Smokies are going to open up. I'll be able to hit the Smokies, and then when I do come back up to Atkins, I really will be a quarter of the way done with the trail. So that'll be nice. But anyway, I'm going to do what I can to stay happy, healthy, and well, and hope you guys do the same.